issues here at the summit. Denuclearization is the main issue hovering over the second Trump-Kim meetings. But there are other issues on the negotiating table for both the U.S. and North Korea. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo was on Fox News Sunday with Chris Wallace talking about the potential for a third summit. Joining us now from our D.C. bureau, Bruce Klingner. He's a senior research fellow for Northeast Asia at the Heritage Foundation's Asian Studies Center. He also served as the CIA's deputy division chief for Korea. We appreciate you joining us, Bruce.
Thanks for having me.
Let's talk, before I forget, about human rights, because Otto Warmbier, of course, this American student who was brutally killed, essentially, by the North Koreans. President Trump has talked about how he did not die in vain, and he is not going to forget human rights. I mean, there are something, as I've done my research, in the neighborhood of 100,000 North Koreans who are still in their gulag system. That doesn't get mentioned enough. How important is that for this conversation?
It's very important, and it is something that seems to have fallen off the table. The president gave two very moving, very eloquent speeches, both the State of the Union address in 2018 and a speech to the South Korean legislature in 2017, that very strongly criticized human rights violations. These are crimes against humanity, as the UN Commission of Inquiry decided. But since the Singapore summit, we really haven't been hearing about human rights from the administration. Vice President Pence was supposed to give a speech in December on International Human Rights Day criticizing North Korea. That was canceled. The U.S. sanctioned 3 entities for human rights violations, but the list was supposed to be longer, but that was also trimmed.
Yeah, Bruce, and we want to be honest and clear-eyed, of course. You're a CIA veteran, as I mentioned, about the fact that the intelligence community has told the President of the United States that North Korea hasn't followed through on some of the promises made at Singapore. What needs to happen here in Hanoi?
Right. Well, we really we need to make actual progress. There's been no denuclearization since Singapore. In fact, North Korea continues to nuclearize. It's expanding its production facilities for missiles and missile launchers and fissile material. So what we need in Hanoi is tangible steps. North Korean commitment to the UN definition of denuclearization, which is abandonment of their arsenal. We need to get a commitment on a data declaration. We need commitment on international standards of verification. The administration has been signaling that it's lowering the bar on a number of its issues, so we need to stand firm and make sure we get actual progress without giving away too many concessions.
Well, Bruce Klingner from the Heritage Foundation, I mentioned, a veteran of the CIA, some important information to bring to this conversation. We'll be providing live coverage throughout the week. We certainly hope to have you back with your insights. It's an important point about the U.S. needing to hold firm and hold North Korea's feet to the fire. Bruce, appreciate you coming in.
Great. Thanks very much.
All right.